back again doing another large capacity fuel tank install with Titan fuel tanks. Today we'll be working on our 702-0217. This is the fuel tank replacement that fits the 2017 and newer crew cab short bed Ford F-250 350 series. Using a small screwdriver or pick, remove the rubber seal from around the fill and DEF fill spouts. Pull the fuel and DEF fill tubes inward away from the fender. This will make it easier to get to the hose clamps over the frame rail. See previous video clips for removal of the fuel line connections at the fuel cooler. It may be a good idea to spray some lubricant on the threads of the nuts prior to loosening. Do not use an impact on the tank strap bolts as it will break the J-nuts. Use a ratchet wrench. Do not forget the electrical connector on the bottom of the fuel cooler. It will be easier to remove the T27 torque screw on the bottom of the fuel cooler prior to dropping the tank. Drop the tank and clean the fuel sending unit area free of dirt and debris. Remove the OEM guard and OEM torque ring. Ensure that this area is clean before reinstallation. Carefully remove the fuel lines from the fuel sending unit and the fuel cooler. Prior to moving the fuel sending unit to the Titan tank, inspect the new tank for any debris inside. Be cautious when removing the sending unit not to bend the sending unit float arm. You may double check for correct float arm height by placing the unit on a flat surface to ensure that the float arm barely touches that flat surface. Clean the top of the sending unit where the torque ring will sit and install the torque ring. Remove the fuel cooler from the factory tank and transfer it to the new Titan tank. Install the fuel lines back in place and install the top guard, ensuring that it is clocked correctly. Install T27 torque screw in the bottom of the fuel cooler. Transfer over the fill neck and vent lines, paying attention to the clocking of the lines. Install the upper half of the front tank support assembly. Lift the tank into place, making certain the fill and vent hoses are not kinked when in position. A new center strap will be used with the longer side of the strap towards the frame. Install these bolts on both straps using a ratchet and not an impact wrench. You can now install the bottom of the front support bracket. Connect the fuel lines at the fuel cooler. Be sure they are locked into place by pulling back once in position. Reinstall the electrical connection at the top of the fuel cooler and the top of the fuel sending unit. Attach fuel fill and vent hoses to the fill neck. Then push fill neck into place in the fender and replace the rubber seal. Go back through and check all bolts, fuel line connections, and electrical connections to ensure all are tight and connected. You're now ready to transfer the fuel from the OEM tank to the new Titan tank. Top it off at the fuel station and check for leaks. We all understand that a huge improvement in fuel range was needed on this specific truck, and we are glad you chose Titan fuel tanks to take you further down the road.